South Africa are bracing for a number of hikes in fuel prices due to the weak rand and looming U.S.-backed Iranian oil sanctions, which of course is set to come into effect in November. The country is also in a recession. However, the government has pledged to overhaul its energy mix through a 20-year plan that will make it less dependent on currency fluctuations and geopolitical volatility. CGTN's Travers reports.
It could be a difficult few months ahead for consumers, as fuel prices are set to increase as a result of a weak rand and Iranian oil sanctions that could cause an imbalance in the global oil supply market. South Africa currently gets most of its oil supplies from Saudi Arabia, Nigeria and Angola, with the latter already increasing its output to mitigate the expected loss of Iranian oil supplies.
The sanctions now are more aggressive than the previous ones, so it's clear that the market will have to replace lost production from Iran, but I think there's been signs that there is enough supply in the market to overcome that.
Successive fuel price increases in South Africa, though, have led to a number of negative effects on the economy, including higher food prices that are as a direct result of producer input fuel costs. Some oil experts, though, believe the solution may be closer to home, with new crude sources easily available from countries in Africa such as Gabon, Ghana and South Sudan.
And I think engaging other African countries, it is going to it's going to fill the shortfalls that will come out of potential sanctions against Iran. And I also think that but what is most important is that we have to develop domestic sources of energy, because it's better to be energy self-sufficient than always relying on foreign countries to supply you the right kind of energy that you need.
OPEC is likely to play the key role in controlling the balance of supplies, and with 7 of the 15 member countries now coming from Africa, the continent's voice and needs can finally be heard. Africa now dominates OPEC, not by barrels of course, but by member numbers. And that also means a seat at the decision-making table, which could bode well for South Africa's interests. Newly minted OPEC member Equatorial Guinea has been tapping into a number of upstream opportunities, which according to the government puts it in a position to assist South Africa.
Clearly, the decision of the government of South Africa and the ministry into looking for new resources for being able to have power is a very good idea. Right now, everybody looking into gas. And Equatorial Guinea not only have oil, also have gas. So clearly, as any supplier, producers, like us in Equatorial Guinea, like Nigeria, we clearly, if we see that South Africa is a good market for our products, we will definitely do our best to supply them. So yes, we are cooperating in whatever we can do to help the people of South Africa.
With the price of Brent crude just below $80 per barrel, it is a figure that will be watched closely over here, as anything north of that could spell bad news for the country, since energy self-sufficiency is still a long and difficult road ahead. Travers, CGTN, Cape Town.